beginning was the Word. An eternity before man was made, when sounds of life were still unheard, God was forever displayed. From the formation of Adam to his exile from paradise, one God was sovereign over him. Forever his sovereignty over man would suffice. Then the rain came down. With God's wisdom, the highest goal was achieved. His best allowed Noah not to drown, so that his wisdom would be believed. God knew all, and he wanted to be known by all. He promised Abraham that the world would through him. His descendants as numerous as the stars if he followed the call. God knew the brightness of his covenant would never dim. Moses came into the world and God was there. While Moses set the people of Israel free, God was there because God was everywhere. Whether in the city or in the desert with his people, he would always be. God set Israel apart like he is. To David he gave the call to be the king of his chosen ones. David loved the Lord and strived to be holy because he was his. David and his people could be holy because they were God's daughters and sons. The chosen people rejected God, and in his power, they were exiled from their home. Broken and sick with sin, God's people could only cower. God still had power over them, no matter how far they could roam. God saw a man named Daniel while they were exiled. God had mercy on him and gave him favor. Daniel fought for the Lord where he was so that God would not be defiled. Daniel knew that his merciful God was the only Savior. After 400 years of silence, the greatest cry of grace was heard. From a little baby boy, God was born. The grace of God came down in the Word. To save the world, God took on even scorn. Jesus, the Son of God, walked the earth in love. He called 12 men on this earth to love as well. The love of God came down from above, and those men walked on earth forever with one story to tell. But Jesus was not loved. He was persecuted and killed. But the eternal, unchanging God didn't stay dead. God's promise he made from the start was fulfilled, and from his death to his resurrection there was only one Godhead. God loved the whole world that he sent his Son, but also his Spirit. His love was shown in perfect timing. The Spirit fell at Pentecost, so the spread of the gospel knew no limit. God's church and people began rising. The grace of God came to a man named Saul. On the road to Damascus, Jesus met the sinner. He made him blind so he could then see and live as Paul. God's grace made an apostle out of a killer. From Jerusalem to the world, the gospel spread. God's mercy on his creation saw that the roads were paved, so that God's people could go wherever his Spirit led. But even in God's mercy, his church was not unscathed. The good news the church brought was beaten down by evil. Burned, beaten, bruised, and battered, the church was under attack. God's infinite power to do all he willed made him unable to have an equal. The fire that burned them didn't hold God back. But the church wasn't perfect. Human sin set the church back from the holiness of God. But this holy God didn't let his church stay wrecked. The Reformation came to fix how the church was flawed. God's followers were not limited to the Western Hemisphere. Many came to the new land, America, but God was already there. God was everywhere his people moved, whether far or near. He was already in the land that was being built, even if they weren't aware. The Lord knew of the pain to come. He knew from the First World War to the last bomb of the Second. God always knew of the cry from the earth and the people left numb. While the world was stuck in the recent past, to the future God beckoned. Even today, with the chaos and confusion, God's wisdom remains moving on his perfect plan. Although man cannot make sense now, God's victory is a foregone conclusion. Humanity cannot understand, but the wisdom of God can. At the end of this world, God will be the victor. He was sovereign over the beginning, and he will be over the end. Forever, God knew who would win the final battle, him and not the afflictor. The victor will be God alone, because he will always defend. An eternity future man could not even comprehend, but God is not bound by now, not bound by forever. The God of eternity will have no end. For him, the end is never. From eternity past, God is the unchanging one, before the first and after the last, constant as the rising sun. Unchanging in the shifting sea, his character like a constant clock that never runs out of energy. His love, mercy, and grace, a solid rock. Devoid of all change forever, his perfection, intention, and position, improving or worsening he could never. Forever immutable above all his creation. He is not God if he could improve. He is already perfect and his holiness is eternal. His character is unable to shift or move. The immutable God is consistent and eternal as a circle. Age to age, God remains the same. The prominence and permanence of God can be counted on. From eternity past to eternity future, all God is will remain. The perfection and immutability of God are the only things to be relied upon. God, for all of time, you have promised that you do not change like shifting shadows. Be the rock that doesn't fail and the path that doesn't falter. Forever be the story that is trusted and never closed. You are God, and it is you that nothing could alter.